We are following breaking news. A New York judge is holding former President Donald Trump in contempt and fining him $10,000 a day for failing to turn over documents to investigators with the New York Attorney General's office. The documents are related to a financial fraud probe conducted by New York Attorney General Letitia James's office. James asked for the contempt charge after the former president failed to meet a March 31st deadline for turning over the required material. Mr. Trump claimed he didn't have the documents James requested. Her investigation aims to show Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization, quote, used fraudulent and misleading financial statements to obtain economic benefit. The former president and his organization have denied these allegations. Joining me now is CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates for more on all of this. Hi, Graham. Great to see you. So give us some background on this investigation. Bring us up to speed on where things stand now.
Sure. So New York Attorney General Letitia James requested a lot of information from former President Trump. And the two sides actually agreed on a deadline, and that was March 31st. And what happened was when that deadline rolled around, Mr. Trump's attorneys said, we actually don't have any documents to turn into you. And in fact, we have some objections about the requests. And this motion for contempt was the Attorney General's office said it was too late to file objections. We already had an agreement. It was already a court order that these documents were needed by March 31st. And so now you're just basically ignoring the order. And the judge indicated today that essentially he was inclined to agree. He levied a $10,000 per day fine on Donald Trump and said, you're required at the very least to describe how these different searches for files were conducted. You can't just say, we don't have any documents that you're looking for. You have to say, we went to this cabinet and searched for this, this, and this. We made images of phones, or we interviewed this person and that person. And that's how we determined that there are no documents to send over.
And so, Graham, Mr. Trump and his attorney are saying, as we've been discussing, that there simply are no documents to hand over. What documents specifically is the New York Attorney General's office looking for? And what else do we know about the likelihood that these documents could be missing or misplaced?
In some ways, what they're looking for is any paper document that he signed that shows kind of his involvement with the finances of the company. But what was so interesting about the most recent filing and then the arguments today in court was the specificity with which they said, here is what we want searched. They noted a couple of mobile devices that belonged to the president, or former president. They very specifically said, there's a cabinet outside of his executive office we want searched. We want storage cabinets on the 25th and 26th floors searched. I mean, very specific locations that they said hadn't been searched, or that they at least hadn't gotten explanations for how, if at all, they were searched.
Now, we know when people are facing sort of tax fraud implications, the IRS just comes in and searches your stuff themselves, right? Could this ever get to the point where officials will just get tired of waiting and will go into the Trump Organization offices or even Mr. Trump's personal offices and search for these items themselves?
Well, the contempt order would have to really drag out for it to get there, because this is a civil investigation. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of this, and when the Attorney General does an investigation like this, a lot of this, it happens before anything is even filed, before there's a civil charge filed, as is what's happening in this case. It's been 2 years of negotiation about what the investigators should be allowed to see, how they can see it, and the process by which those documents can be turned over. And again, this is kind of argued about every time they have a hearing. The lawyers for Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization say, this is too broad, this is too vague, it's been taking too long, we want this down now. And the Attorney General is basically saying the same for us as soon as you give us the things we're looking for.
Now, what guarantees are there, or what guardrails are there, so to speak, in making sure that there's no one at the Trump Organization that's using this time to perhaps destroy any documents or records?
There aren't guardrails for that per se, except for that it's illegal to do that, right? Once you know that a law enforcement body may be seeking materials, you can't just go and destroy it. So there's nothing that they can do that can physically prevent them from doing that. But it would be a violation of the law to actually do that.
And so what is next? What's the next step? This bill will just keep ratcheting up?
After the hearing, his attorney, Alita Habba, told reporters that they intend to appeal the ruling on contempt. But also she plans to willing to file an affidavit because they did the search.
Sorry, Graham. I think we're having some audio difficulty with your connection over there. We're going to let you go. But thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.